Will you please get over here? I have been waiting all week, and I'm very impatient. Let's go, Nelson. Listen, this bonus material stuff.
What are you talking about?
Let's go here. You know.
What bonus material? I'm up in my office trying to get some work done, preparing for primetime on Saturday, and I was called over here to the studio.
Listen,
what the heck?
Who's ever on the casting couch
here?
can wait.
What is going on? I don't even have a tie on.
That's fine. What is that, grape? What color is that?
No, it's my gimmick missing is what's missing. What do you want to talk about? Why are we here,
We are
here on a Thursday?
On a Thursday. Well, first of all, because there's so much news that happened on Monday Night Raw, we need to address Punk and Ryback and Punk and Rock. That's because we won't have enough.
Oh, so this is extra.
We won't have enough time on Saturday night to go over
30 minutes
all
isn't
this.
enough for you?
No, not even close.
Oh.
Yes.
I thought you were a 3-minute man.
No, I'm the 30-minute man, but we might need another 3 minutes, or 5 for that matter.
What do you want to talk about? It's been a great week on wrestling. Rock came back.
Of course.
Him and CM Punk had a verbal jarring. Ryback didn't beat Punk for the championship.
And
Brand new world.
What frustrates me is what happened with Ryback and Punk.
Really?
Absolutely.
Do tell.
They have booked Ryback to become, he's an idiot. Absolutely. I mean,
ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to apologize for the abrasive language used by David Hero in this particular segment. I do not share his views
I'm
that
not
Ryback
saying
is
Ryan
a quote-unquote
Reeves.
idiot.
I'm saying the character of Ryback has been booked to be an idiot. How many times is he going to have a match where the three amigos known as the Shield come out and give him the super power bomb onto a table or onto the stairs or whatnot?
Well, what can you do about it?
You know what he needed to do? He needed to go to Vicky or Vince or Booker T or Teddy Long and say, hey, listen, I want to make sure that the Shield is not allowed at ringside for my title match. And if they are at ringside and interfere, Punk loses the belt. Right? Why wouldn't they do that? Why wouldn't Ryback have his buddies Sheamus and Randy Orton watching his back? Why wouldn't he go to them and say, "Hey, listen, last week the Shield they started shenanigans with those three.
Shenanigans.
We got a big shenanigans announcement on Saturday.
We do.
That's your 6-man match. Why wasn't Kane or Daniel Bryan made aware of what's going on? How come nobody came down to help Ryback?
Maybe they're afraid of him.
No, they're not. As much of a push as they're giving Ryback, they've done nothing to protect him. Yes, he's lost in controversial fashion. Yes, because the Shield has interfered and beaten Ryback. But why wouldn't they want to give Punk a strong victory over Ryback going forward with The Rock? Because right now, with the exception of John Cena, CM Punk has yet to beat a man of larger stature than him. He hasn't beaten a Sheamus, clean
Cena's
Sheamus.
bigger than him.
That's what I mean. He beat John Cena. That's really been it, but it's been controversial. So if he can't beat Ryback on his own, what makes me believe he can beat The Rock on his own?
But maybe you don't need to believe he can beat him on his own because there is still that unanswered question of the Shield and who their affiliation may or may not be with.
Well,
so why does he need to worry? Isn't this
there is
all
no
to
way,
make Punk stronger?
There's no way at the Royal Rumble that The Rock is going to let the Shield beat him down.
How?
So
Why
Punk
not?
can win. Because it's The Rock. He's larger than life. He's an icon. He's a legend.
Ryback, I don't think, has lost much credibility in this whole situation. CM Punk has gained the cheapest heelish heel role
he has a
that he's
ton of
grown
heat
in.
right now.
Yeah.
A ton of heat because he said it inadvertently. He's cheated to beat Ryback every time.
Well, win if you can't, lose if you must. Always cheat, never get caught.
Ryback looks silly right now. He doesn't look believable. Going forward.
Really?
Listen, he couldn't beat him in a cage match. He couldn't beat him in a TLC match. What makes you think he can beat Punk in a regular match? It's not going to happen.
But perhaps one day he will, and perhaps that will be the payoff.
Not anytime soon. Right now, it's Rock.
You want it right now. You can't wait. You're impatient.
No, absolutely. Because down the road, it's not going to matter. Right now, it's Punk and Rock mode. And when that's done, it's the road to WrestleMania. I don't believe Ryback and Punk are going to have a match at WrestleMania.
That's unlikely.
Mm-hmm. Now, maybe Ryback might be involved in the Elimination Chamber match, and he might get some heat back on Punk, but Punk probably won't be champion come the Chamber. I think it's going to be The Rock.
Really?
Absolutely.
434 days.
It's just a number. That's the other thing I want to talk about. The whole Bruno Sammartino bashing. How Punk says that he would be a better champion than Bruno.
Be careful, because all of them agree.
You know what? Maybe, but here's the thing. Bruno sold out MSG every night.
Well, once a week.
He got in the building
Once a
at
month,
least.
rather.
They knew who he was when he walked in. Security never said,
before 9/11.
hold on a second. Who are you? No, they knew it was Bruno Sammartino. So, I know...
The point he made, and we'll talk about him and The Rock.
But why pick on Bruno? Why not pick on Hogan? He could have picked on Shawn Michaels. He could have picked on Bret Hart. He could have picked on Big Daddy Cool. He could have picked on Yokozuna, but they chose Bruno. Is that because they tried to
come on now.
hurt
He said Bruno. He also said Hogan around the same era.
But
he also, I think maybe he mentioned Backlund. Maybe he didn't. I don't know.
No, he did not mention Bob Backlund.
But
he went after Bruno Sammartino.
In my office.
Well, you know what? It's not my fault.
I got things to do. You know, I don't just sit there all day and twiddle my thumbs and tweet like you do in your office.
Look what you're doing. You're sitting here going like this. You're twiddling something. But yeah, so the whole Ryback thing frustrated me to no end.
Is it because he's on your team and you're down by 200 points in the PWR draft?
No,
in other words, losing?
Not at all.
Yeah, I think that may be it.
No.
Is it because you christened him as the next big thing?
I never said that.
Who would be a star? Which he is a star now.
He is a star.
But he just can't do it when the time counts.
He's the number 3 guy
If he's
on Raw.
that big of a monster, the Shield should be no threat to him.
It's 3-on-1.
So,
3 guys.
Where did he start? What was he doing? Beating up 2 guys every week. Putting them in that little thing he does.
See, I agree, but obviously 3 is the magic number. We got to talk about the Rock thing, too.
Well, you know what? Since we're doing this, and now, what has it been? 7 minutes or so? How'd you get the production team down here? You have no pull around here. You should not be able to make this stuff happen. And I don't get summoned anywhere. I go where, when, how I want. We're going to take a break. We're going to take a break. We're going to take a time out. When we come back, we'll talk about, I guess you want to rant now on The Rock and CM Punk?
Absolutely.
Of course you do.
I don't have
you hate CM Punk.
You don't give me time on Saturdays.
Because, well, we'll get to that during the break. We'll be right back here on PWR Primetime Extra.
The biggest party during WrestleMania weekend is coming to Manhattan. PWR presents Shenanigans in the Concrete Jungle, hosted by Big Sexy Kevin Nash on Saturday, April 6th. The party starts right after the WWE Hall of Fame induction ceremony, just steps away from Madison Square Garden. VIP tickets include free drinks and more, and are only available in limited quantities. Get your tickets now for this tremendous Hall of Fame after party right across the street from Madison Square Garden. Shenanigans in the Concrete Jungle, the only place to be after the WWE Hall of Fame induction ceremony, high above Manhattan in the historic Hotel Pennsylvania. It will be epic.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pro Wrestling Report. It's an extra edition of Prime Time here on late on a Thursday night. And David Hero, we've been talking about the whole matchup, the TLC match from this past Monday on Raw with CM Punk and Ryback and The Shield. And I understand now that you want to just go ahead and talk a little bit about The Rock and CM Punk and their verbal sparring this past Monday night on Raw.
Well, you know, because so many people, I was reading the tweets and the Facebooks and the touts and all that other kind of social media.
Tout?
Well, I pay attention.
15 seconds of video. It's amazing what you can probably fit in there.
Oh, it's amazing. And everyone's like, oh, wow, CM Punk owned The Rock. It was the Punk won, Rock nothing.
Let's not forget, 81% of our audience on Monday Night's Meltdown also said Punk won in that verbal battle between he and The Rock.
You know what? And you know what? Punk did a fantastic job. He cut a tremendous promo. He made his points. I don't know if I call it a pipe bomb.
He did.
Well, he did. Let's just say this. The Rock has had promos with Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Triple H, Mick Foley, Vince McMahon, Ric Flair, some of the biggest names in all of wrestling.
Aside from Hogan
Austin,
Vince Punk
McMahon
has as well.
Can I finish? The Rock has used all the good stuff on them. Okay? Now hold on. With that being said, the first time you heard those promos, it was exciting. It was new, catchphrasey, the whole thing. People went nuts for it.
Yeah.
My question for you is, Damian Nelson, your favorite musical act is who?
Frank Sinatra.
Frank
Greatest
Sinatra.
entertainer of all time.
Okay, obviously if Frank Sinatra were still alive, you'd be going to his concert.
I would.
And you wouldn't be going to hear what new songs Frank Sinatra would have.
He does have a song called What's New.
You would be going to listen to the legendary stuff.
New York, New York, My
Yes.
Way, Mr. Success.
Exactly.
Lady is a Tramp.
So when
World on a String.
you advertise The Rock is coming back to Monday Night Raw and to Friday Night SmackDown, you're trying to get the fans that watched him 10 years ago. Those fans that watched him 10 years ago are sitting in front of their TV now for 3 hours. Do you honestly think they want to see The Rock come out with a full head of hair and new catchphrases, new sayings? No, 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 no. They want to see what The Rock is going to be talking about. They want to see the know your roles, the it doesn't matters, jabroni drive, SmackDown hotels.
Do you know what sent chills down my body and goosebumps all over my body on Monday night was when The Rock inserted the finally The Rock is back, come back to. Because he didn't start with it. He placed it perfectly within that promo. And perhaps that's a modification of Days of Old because he would always start with that. But it was modified for the current audience and thrown into the promo at the perfect spot. Maybe there is some. I think you're right. Of course, people when they pay to see Hulk Hogan, what do they want to see? They want to see the leg drop he can't do anymore, and they're not going to.
And they want to see the hand to the ear, the ripping of the T-shirt,
Absolutely.
and the pose down after the match.
Now, you brought up the idea of musical acts and what you go see and what you want to hear when you go see those musical acts.
Those when they come out, what is it for the curtain call?
The
What is
encore.
it? The encore. They don't end the show with their latest song. They do the one where they want the entire audience to sing along with.
And to leave.
Happy. Now, with that being said, CM Punk, great promo with The Rock.
Really?
It was good.
Wasn't too pointed? Wasn't too shoot?
But listen, here's the thing. Hashtag.
Triple H.
CM Punk has waited his entire career for a moment to cut a promo on a Hulk Hogan or a Rock or a Steve Austin. So you know for the last how many years he's envisioned himself being in the ring. And what would he say to Dwayne Johnson, who the Punk feels he's a better wrestler than Dwayne Johnson, The Rock?
Oh, he probably is.
He might very well be.
I'm sure he is.
So he was waiting. He was emotionally invested. Do you honestly think The Rock lays wide awake at night thinking, what am I going to say to CM Punk? No, not at all. But CM Punk, he's been waiting years
They will
for
tell
this
you.
opportunity.
They will tell you what they read on the internet, which is that Brian Gerwick was brought back in to work with The Rock
course.
on that promo on Monday because he does care and he is concerned about what he's going to say to CM
Brian
Punk.
Gerwitz has always been doing that. I mean, listen, some of the greatest comedians of all time, they have writers. The greatest TV shows of all times have writers.
We have writers?
No, we don't. We're different. So, yeah, The Rock, he may not have been what everybody had hoped for. He may have had the same old shtick that he's had, but that's who you get. When you want The Rock, that's what you're going to get. You're not going to get something new. CM Punk, he's the pipe bomb. He's going to say certain things. Now, for me, when he made the comment about boxing with God, first thing that pops in my head, if you've seen the movie Avengers, when Hulk grabbed Loki, puny God, that's what I was praying for. I'm like, how great would that have been if Hulk Rock would have grabbed Punk, thrown him all around the ring, throw him down and goes, puny God. Would have been fantastic.
So now let me go JR 96, 97 on you.
Sure, go ahead.
I'm going to get to the bottom of the story. I'm going to not ask the promo type questions. Are you saying this? Are you saying that The Rock was better, because it sounds like that's what you're saying on Monday night. Are you saying that because of your hatred for CM Punk?
No, not at all. I'm not saying The Rock was better. I'm saying The Rock was The Rock. That's what you're getting when you have The Rock
So
on
why
your
the
show.
rant?
Because
Everyone out there seems to think that CM Punk was better.
That's why. Because I'm pointing out the obvious that not everybody can see. CM Punk has done what he's always done for the past year and a half. He's cut these shoot-worked promos, right? Now let's face it, if The Rock wanted to come out and do his own He did kind of shoot
Sort
a
of
little bit
last
on him.
Oh, yeah.
You know, when he called him, was it Popeye the crackhead or whatever it was?
Yes.
You know, so it's going to get personal. But do the wrestling fans want to see another promo session like how it was with Rock and Cena, like it was
Here's
last
the
year?
thing with this whole thing between Rock and Cena, Rock and CM Punk or whatever. You've got people out there and some people in the locker room of WWE who are questioning why they keep bringing The Rock back and why they need The Rock and why is The Rock being given all this time in lieu of the
And I'm
talents
gonna
that they already have.
tell you why
Let me
right
finish.
now.
Let me finish. Those questions are out there as to why. And when you look at it overall, doesn't it sort of answer itself?
Well, I'm going to tell you why they bring him back.
Why is that?
Because they don't have a roster that can sell out MetLife Stadium without The Rock or Steve Austin.
MetLife Stadium is essentially sold out already without The Rock or Steve Austin.
No, but they knew The Rock's going to be there.
They hope. They don't
He's
know.
been announced. He said it last year he's going to be there.
He's on the poster.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay, then
Yeah, exactly.
Phoenix, they sold out that stadium without a Stone Cold Steve Austin and a Rock.
They had Shawn Michaels and Undertaker retirement match.
You think you have an answer for everything?
I
don't
do have an answer
WrestleMania
for
25,
everything.
Houston, Texas. They had Austin, who had gone to the Hall of Fame that year, but there was no Rock.
Houston. What was the main event in Houston?
The main event was Big Show and Cena and Orton, I believe, but it was also Undertaker and Shawn Michaels Part 1, and Austin going into the Hall of Fame.
Well, there you go. Stone Cold in Houston.
WrestleMania 24, Orlando, Florida. Ric Flair retired.
Ric Flair's
Ric Flair
retirement
versus-
match. Yeah. They need that hook. They need that special event at WrestleMania. And when you have The Rock, that makes it special.
Well, and I think it's important to be frank and honest here and tell you what you may not know, which is there is nothing at all in WWE that matters more right now than WrestleMania.
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing. The Royal Rumble doesn't matter. The Elimination Chamber doesn't matter. Those are all ways by which to get to WrestleMania. And at this point, and especially if you as a fan will ever look back at the 3 months or 4 months even leading up to WrestleMania, you will see that every single thing that was done, which you may not have realized at the time, every single thing that was done for no other reason than to get to WrestleMania.
And that's
And we
how-
should enjoy it along the way.
Hey, the Rumble's going to start that way. It is the road to WrestleMania. The Rock and CM Punk. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be interesting.
CM
because-
Punk is the new wrestling fans' wrestler. He is a darling of the internet wrestling community. He is an amazingly talented man. He's great on a microphone. He's great in the ring. He's a great performer, and he's been the longest reigning WWE champion in over 25 years. All that being said, he is very supported out there by the internet and by
Yes, he
wrestling
is.
fans who watch shows like this.
But here's
The Rock,
here's my question to you. The people that are going to be in New York for WrestleMania, are they going to be there cheering for The Rock or for CM Punk?
you've heard shows at Madison Square Garden. Remember when in '96 Shawn Michaels got booed out of the building at the Survivor
But that
Series, and
was
he was
not
the
The
big
Rock.
guy. It
That
wasn't The
was
Rock.
not
You're
The
right.
Rock.
He was the big guy, though. It was the event that The Rock debuted at, by the way. But I think the New York audience is a smarter audience. But here's the key thing: as we talk about, 81% of our audience said that Punk won that battle
Did
on
you
Monday.
really just look at your watch to wrap me
I
up?
have a meeting in 10 minutes, David Hero. I've got a big, we got this thing going on in New York,
I know, I
PWR
know,
weekend.
I know.
I got meetings. Anyways, and thank you for attempting to derail me, but you were not successful. The thing is, 81% of the audience said CM Punk won that battle, that
Sure.
verbal sparring between he and The Rock.
and
However,
he did.
that's 81% of this audience. If you were to look at the 13 to 15,000 people that were in the arena at Raw Monday night,
In Tampa.
81% of them would have told you that The Rock won.
Well, he did. He rock bottom Punk to end the show.
If he didn't do it Monday night,
They have 10 days, a little over a week right now, to make us believe it's going to be a competitive match between The Rock and CM Punk. I
Punk-
don't know if that promo segment, it didn't sell me to buy that pay-per-view yet.
if it didn't this past Monday, what will it take for you as a fan?
It's going to take something special Monday night.
20th anniversary of Raw,
Absolutely.
several big names potentially
Absolutely.
returning, maybe a Ric Flair, maybe a Steve Austin. We'll see what happens Monday night on Raw, but before that, we'll be back with you again Saturday night for PrimeTime here on PWRShow.com.
You know, I feel better.
YouTube. Did
I feel
you get it
better.
out of your system?
Yeah.
Therapy with Damian work?
Well, it wasn't with you. I mean, it's my own self-feeling.
You just like sitting in front of the camera. That's what it is. I don't even notice the cameras.
I know you don't.
We'll see you Saturday for prime time. For that one, Damian Nelson saying thank you for tuning into this impromptu edition of PWR Extra.